Hey guys, this is going to be your lesson on how to actually create a budget in Google Sheets from beginning to end. This video is going to be entirely about the technical skills and the details that need to go into creating your budget. What I would do if I were you is have this video open on one part of your screen and then your own Google Sheets on another part of the screen. That way if you get stuck, you can just go right back and move around between the video of where you need to be working on. So when we went out to FlexJet earlier this year, we asked the people who were touring us around, the top guys at FlexJet, what skills do high schoolers need to have? And they said the very first thing is they need to be able to work in Excel. Google Sheets and Excel are almost exactly the same. So the number one skill that people are looking for in one of the fields we're pushing you towards, aviation, is being able to work in Excel or in Google Sheets. And that's true of a lot of industries. So this is getting you started on one of these lifelong skills. Every time I work in Excel, I learn something new. So I wanted to get you guys started on that during this time away. So if you do not already have a folder set up for yourself in Google Drive, you need to have your math work set up. Okay, keep everything in there so that you don't get all confused with where your stuff is. Open that up. You're going to hit new Google Sheet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make this screen a little bit bigger so that you guys can see a little better with some of the stuff we're doing. So I'm creating a budget for the entire year. So I'm going to do this by month. So across the top, I'm going to put every month, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and then December. Okay, don't worry right now about the fact that you have to scroll back and forth to see those months. We can fix some of that stuff later if you don't like that visualization. So when I'm thinking about my budget, I know everything that goes into my budget. So I'm going to just start listing everything out. You might have to do a little bit of research, ask your parents a little bit, reflect on what you want your life to look like. What do you want to actually be spending money on? There's the things that we have to spend money on, and there's the things that we get to spend money on. So for me, I pay a mortgage. That means I partially own my house and I'm paying the bank back for it. A lot of you guys are going to be putting rent in that spot. Okay, I pay also a car payment. I pay for my car insurance. I also have a student loan. So those of you thinking about going to college, Say Yes is going to fill in some gaps, but you might also have to take some student loans out. Pay for the internet. Pay for gas to heat the house. Electricity. Did I spell that right? Water, sewer bill. Pay for my cell phone. I pay for long-term disability, which is a type of insurance. I give my nephew a gift every quarter, which is every 3 months, to his 529, which is a college savings account. Pay for Netflix. I save some money for my car every month because cars take a lot of maintenance, so I set money aside right away for that. I live in Cleveland Heights, and I have to pay extra bills and extra taxes to them, so I set money aside every month to make sure that happens. Gotta pay for my dog. Groceries, of course, gotta eat. Car gas, gotta drive to work. Eating out, gotta have some fun. Shopping, that's life. And then I put this other category in there, other, because sometimes things pop up that you don't really plan for, but you know you're going to spend the money. So once I've got all of those things in, I'm going to leave a space, and then I'm going to put total of all expenses. This is where I'm going to be adding things up. I'm going to leave a space. I'm going to put my total income in there. We'll talk about that later. And then the last thing, if I have income and I have expenses, hopefully I do not spend my entire income and I have some money left over to go towards savings. I'm going to call that amount to be saved. All right. So that's the basic setup there. So across the top, you put your timeline. Okay, even though, we're not starting in January, it's okay if you start in January, just so you can get an idea of what a whole year would look like. All right, so I'm going to start putting numbers in here. Again, you can ask your parents, you can look stuff up online. My mortgage is actually like $723.71 every month. The average rent in Cleveland is like $800, $850. You can use that number. My car, I've been paying $400 a month for a while. Car insurance is $192.88. That is for both my partner and me, but it comes out of my bank account, so I write that down. Student loan, $200 a month. Internet, $69.99. Gas, doing $57. Electricity, $45. Water. My water changes, but I budget on the higher end. I say that I'm going to have $50 set aside for it. Sewer is pretty consistent. Cell phone, pay my mom for that. Long-term disability, every time I pay, it's $48.88. It's actually really nice. I give Vinny $25. Netflix, $14.03. Save $50 a month. Let's see, save $120 for that. Do $150 for the dog. I know that seems like a lot. We'll go into that later if you wanted to ask about it. Groceries, $230. Gas, $100 a month. Eating out, $100. Shopping, $50. Other, $25. These last couple, those vary every month, but a budget is about making plans for the future. So even if one month I don't do any shopping, I'm still going to budget for them. I'm still going to make a plan. All right, at this point, I'm going to change my font because I hate Arial font. I'm going to do a couple just kind of aesthetic things. I like, yeah, so I want to bold that, make those centered. I want things to look nice. All right, so what's going to happen here now, I'm going to actually zoom out so that you guys can see everything. These are roughly the same every month. So I'm going to highlight all this. There's a little box down in the corner. Once I get that plus sign, I can grab that corner and I actually can drag that all the way across. That way I don't have to type everything a million times. But the one thing is, there are a couple of changes I need to make right off the bat. I do not pay $48 every single month for this long-term disability. I only have to pay quarterly. That means once every 3 months. So I actually paid for it in January, and I'm paying for it this month in April. So I'm going to delete out the months that I don't have to pay that, okay? The same thing is actually for my nephew. I think I just paid for that in March. So that's once a quarter. So the quarters end in March, June, September, and December. And that's when it pulls that money for me, okay? A couple other changes that came up. I'm actually not going to be paying $200 a month in my student loan because the federal government just dropped interest rates to 0 on student loans. We're going to talk about that more in a couple weeks when we go into our loans unit. But because of that, I actually have made a change that I'm going to pay $180 a month until September when that 0% interest expires. And then lucky for me, I should have my loans forgiven after that, so I'm going to delete those last couple of payments. So what I did is I actually took that extra $20 from student loan, put this up here. So what I'm doing, I'm showing you guys an example of just the fact that personal finance is personal, okay? You don't just put random numbers in a spreadsheet. These numbers actually represent your life. So I took that extra $20 and putting it towards my car. I'm going to pay that off a little sooner. I'm going to only have to pay $350 in July, and then I'm done paying for that car. I've been paying on that car for about 5 years. So I'm going to have a bunch of blank over here, which is nice. So let me check on some other stuff. I mean, I could change a couple of these things. Like I know in March, I paid actually $43 for my sewer bill. So I could change some of that stuff. And then what you can do, is in real life, you can go through and you can update these things, and this is actually what I do. So when the bills come in, I change them if they're not what these numbers are. Down here, change them if I don't. It's pretty hard to spend exactly $230 on groceries, but you know, I'm budgeting for that. I'm planning to spend at least that much, or actually at most, trying not to go over. That way I can have some money saved. All right, so let's talk about down here. How do we figure out our total expenses? So I just want to add all this up. I'm not going to do that by hand. Google Sheets, Excel, they do this for you. They are actually suggesting to me two options. So I'm going to actually go with the sum. All right, I'm going to add these things up. I'll do sum, open parentheses, and then I can select all of these cells and it populates for me that it's B2, that means cell B and cell 2, all the way down to cell B22. Okay, and then I see, ooh, that is a total of $2,746 every month. All right, we got to figure out, we got to hope. Well, guess what? I get paid, I get to take home $1,750 a month, twice a month. It's $3,500. I know I've got some money left over. How do I do that? How do I figure out how much left over? I do equals. I select this one, my income, subtract what I'm spending. Looks like I should have $750 left over that I should save. Okay. Next, I'm just going to drag these all the way across. I'm not typing that in every single time. I do not need to. Okay. If you look up here, you'll see that this cell knew exactly what to do. It copied over the formula, but to the next column. So this one says C2 to C22. That's pretty nice. You can see all along the top, if you look up here in this formula bar, you're going to see that every single time. E, F, G. So that's what that drag across does. It just copies the formula. It doesn't copy the number. It's nice. So you'll notice that because, you know, some months I'm paying $48.48 and other months I'm not, these numbers are definitely different. $2,697 versus $2,746. $2,725, right? It's doing everything for me. So that's what's really nice about these spreadsheets. Okay. Now, another thing that people like to know is how much they've actually spent on something like one item. So I'm going to put yearly totals over here, and I'm going to total what I'm spending. Like this first row is for mortgage. I want to know actually how much I spent the whole year on the mortgage. So again, I'll do that equals sum, open parentheses, and I'm going to go backwards and select all of these. The computer actually knows how to fix it to put it in the right order from B2 to M2. I'll do a close parentheses, hit enter. Looks like I'm going to be spending about $8,684 on my mortgage. Same concept we used before. Grab that little square and drag things down. We've got some totals right there. I'm going to delete out these zeros just because, you know, I don't like them. They're kind of annoying. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, again, get this kind of set up. I'm going to put this in some colors I like because those totals are what I really care a lot about, right? These totals, get that pink in there so I know that that's kind of the main number I'm looking at, and then these are all the details up here. Now this number right here, what does that mean? Ooh, that's too bright. Okay, but that's the number, the amount of money that I'm planning to spend this whole year, in one calendar year, just under $30,000. Okay, do I have that much? Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be taking home about $42,000. It's telling me I should be able to save $12,000. Now, whether or not that actually happens, that's up to me and whether or not I do the right thing with my money. But this is just an example. This tells you exactly how to do that. So you want to use those sum formulas all along the bottom here and along the side. Then you want to be using a very basic subtraction formula. So when you set that up, let me show that one more time. You do equals, you select the first number that you want to have like be the first number, the one on top, subtract this other smaller number, okay? When would you have a problem? If down here, if you were showing any negative numbers, you'd have a problem. All right, so let me just show what that looked like. Say I put $2,500 in here, and you'll see, okay, there's a negative number. That means I'm spending money I do not have. That means up here I must make changes, right? Maybe there's a mistake, maybe there's a typo. Some other changes that I know personally I want to make, guess what? December, gift giving. My girlfriend is a Christian. We celebrate Christmas. So I'm going to put $500 in there for gifts. Groceries. Probably $500 too because we have a holiday party. November, Thanksgiving, spend a little bit more. Okay, so don't just put the same numbers in there all the time. If you know you're going to be spending more, you want to adjust for that as soon as you know that you're going to be spending more. Another thing, let's see, July, I like to travel a little bit in the summer, so I'm going to just put $200 in there. So again, that makes those adjustments. Now it's telling me I'm going to spend $31,000. Okay. Another couple other technical things. I don't like that when I scroll this way, I can't remember what my details are over here. So I'm just going to go to view, freeze one column. That means when I move this way, I can see, I could put these yearly totals right up there and I can see for the mortgage, that's what I'm going to spend. For cell phone, that's what I'm going to spend. Vinny, that's what I'm going to spend. Dang, I'm going to spend $168 on Netflix. And then you can do the same thing with the rows across the top. Freeze one row. That way when you move down, I can see, okay, this is what my July spending total is going to be. And just makes it a little bit easier on yourself visually. Last thing I'd want to do is put last names, spreadsheet 01, budget. That way my teachers can know that it's me who's turning this in when they open it up and grade it. All right, if you guys have any questions, let me know at the office hours or send me an email. I hope that this helps you get your assignment done.